Section 2.5 absolute value equations. So remember back from chapter 1, when we talk about the absolute value, it's its distance from 0. So I want to point out it's that distance from 0. So your absolute value is the distance. So if we talk about the absolute value of x is 7, that means the only options for x are 7 or negative 7, because those are the only numbers that are 7 units from 0. It doesn't matter which way you go. If you've got your number line, and here's 0, 7, 7, those are the only options that are 7 units away. So when we look at a quantity with an absolute value, it's that same thing. If we've got our number line, this x minus 2 is either going to be here at 5 units away or here at 5 units away. So what that tells us is that x plus 2 has to equal negative 5 or x plus 2 has to equal positive 5, because both of those 5 and the negative 5 are 5 units from 0. And then we just solve these like we did earlier in this chapter. One thing I want to point out, make sure you use the word or. X can't be two values at the same time, but what this is saying is that if we plugged in negative 7, here I'll even do it. If we plugged in negative 7, we'd have the absolute value of negative 5, which is 5. And if we plugged in 3, we'd have the absolute value of 5, which is 5. So notice both of them work, so that's why we need both answers. So now in this case, same thing. We can have x plus 6 equals 9, or x plus 6 could be negative 9. Both 9 and negative 9 are the only units that are 9 units away from 0. So your options are 3 or negative 15. This next one, same idea. We've got 2x minus 1. That's either 4 or can be negative 4. You need both situations because we're trying to cover all of our bases here. And in this case, x could be 5 halves or negative 3 halves. So same things here. So I'm not going to really talk through them. Now this last one, we want when it is equal to 0. On a number line, you can't go any distance away from it and still be on 0. So in this case, there is only one answer, because you can't go left or right and still be 0 units from 0. Alright, so now in this case, When is the absolute value equal to negative 15? Well, think back to absolute values, and the end result of an absolute value can't be a negative, because it's asking when is something negative 15 units away from 0? Well, that's not possible, because even if we go to the negative numbers, you're still so many units away from 0. So this is no solution. If you want to write the words, that's fine. Reason being, absolute values cannot be negative. And notice it's asking us to when is it equal to a negative. Now in this next case, notice the absolute value is not by itself. We have this minus 10 that's outside of it. Key thing is we've got to get this by itself in order to do what we've been doing. So we got to add this 10 to both sides. And now that we have that absolute value by itself, we can separate this into the two equations like we've been doing. Same thing here, we've got this 3 times the absolute value. And so what we need to do now, since it's getting multiplied, we've got to divide that negative 3 away. So now we have the absolute value equaling 2, and so we can break this up just like we've been doing. Alright, next one. Once again, we've got some stuff on the outside of these absolute values that we need to get rid of before we can break it up. So you want to do these the same way you would solve an equation and just pretend that this whole thing is your variable. So the first thing we need to do is subtract away that 13. We still have the 1/2 and our absolute value. And then we need to get rid of this 1/2. So to do that, we can multiply both sides by 2. Those are going to cancel out. We have absolute value 5x minus 4 equals 14. So now we can do 5x minus 4 equals 14, or 5x minus 4 equals negative 14. Same idea, get that absolute value by itself. But now look again, we have an absolute value equaling a negative number. We can't have that, so it's no solution.